Shalom. I like to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, taught me this truth. And salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, preaching his word with truth and sincerity. And shalom to the Akim and the Aqua, the believers, the true believers of the hopeful elect. Lord's willing, I'll be part of that number that's coming back in the spirit and theme of prophecy. And I got a couple of articles that I'm going to read and get into for current events, and hit a couple of precepts, and Lord's willing, this will be edifying. Alright, this is from Natural News, and it says, IV fluid shortage hits hospitals after Hurricane Helene shuts top manufacturer. Let's see. Hospitals across the U.S. are taking steps to conserve their supplies of IV fluids after Hurricane Helene struck a critical manufacturing plant belonging to the country's biggest supplier. Baxter International, a medical technology company responsible for making IV fluids for most U.S. hospitals, said that it would temporarily close production as its North Cove, North Carolina facility because of flooding from Helene, raising concerns about a potential nationwide shortage. Let me see. IV fluids deliver drugs or water with electrolytes directly into a patient's bloodstream. They're also critical for surgery when a person cannot eat or drink to keep them hydrated. Baxter also makes specialty fluids such as peritoneal dialysis fluid, which helps patients with kidney failure filter waste from their blood, and irrigation fluids used during procedures to clean or flush wounds. Yeah, so Hurricane Helene did a number on North Carolina. Let me see. Says Mass General Brigham, a prestigious hospital system, said it is continuing to treat patients normally, but is conserving its fluid supplies. This includes switching to oral hydration for patients who are healthy enough for it, and not discarding partially used IV fluid bags when patients are moved to a different part of the hospital. Yeah, so sounds like the hospital's gonna have to maneuver and do and re-improvise They're going to have to improvise because of Hurricane Helene. All right, let me see. FDA recertification of Baxter may take time. Baxter said a levee breach contributed to the flooding, and bridges leading Slovakia to the plant were also damaged. The company said it is working with health, emergency, and other government agencies to assess the damage to the plant and come up with a plan to restart production as quickly as possible. It says the duration of the shortages could depend on how extensively damaged the plant is. If the flooding affects the plant's ability to meet FDA standards for sterility and stability, it typically takes 90 days to receive FDA certification. Yeah, so it was a wrap for these people. And let me get a quick precept. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 29 verse 6, but I'm going to read it in a different translation. The YLT says even though it says Jehovah, but that's not the Lord's name. The Lord's name is Yahweh. By Yahweh of hosts, thou art inspected with thunder and with an earthquake and great noise, hurricane and whirlwind and flame of devouring fire. Salakia. Yeah, so the Lord is visiting this place with natural disasters. You know, and this is the tip of the iceberg. It's good. You best believe there's going to be more disasters to come. Just like there was a wildfire in I believe it was Wyoming. I believe it's Wyoming. There's wildfires in Wyoming around the same time that Helene was jumping off. Hurricane Helene was jumping off. And there's speculation that it's because there's resources in the ground over there in Helene and Wyoming. And you know the elites don't want to pay those people in order to dig over there. So instead of paying them, they just have a natural disaster hit that they created, you know, so they can so they can go over there and steal the resources. And I wouldn't put it past Esau. I don't put nothing past Esau. Esau is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You know, a wicked, crooked person. Let me get one more precept that comes to mind. I believe this is it. Yeah, this is Psalms 83, chapter 83, verse 14. It said, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire, so persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Yeah, that's what the Lord is doing. The Lord is making the people of the Lord is making the people afraid with the storm, with his storm. You know, these people have been without power or food or water for days now, and then it looks like they're not getting any help from the U.S. government. I believe Kamala Harris offered to give $750 for relief from the hurricane, and these people and the people and there's people on record saying that they didn't even receive the $750. So these people are going through it. As a matter of fact, I got something like that on right here. This is from Al Jazeera. And it reads, fact check, in the U.S. is FEMA $750 hurricane relief alone. It says, in the wake of Hurricane Helene, we fact-checked the online misinformation about assistance payments to disaster survivors. So it says, besides responding to destruction caused by Hurricane Helene, in the U.S., emergency workers are battling online misinformation that could dissuade survivors from accepting disaster relief. It says some false claims have focused on the Federal Emergency Management Agency's $750 payments for essential supplies. They say it's false, but I believe it because Esau is just that sinister and crooked. And I've watched videos where people were complaining about, not getting any help. And it says, hurricane victims are now realizing that the $750 from FEMA that Kamala Harris is offering them is actually a loan, not real relief. And if they don't pay it back, the feds can seize their property. These people don't even have property anymore because of the hurricane. Says this narrative also spread on TikTok. In one video that drew almost 400,000 views as of October 6th, an unidentified man described as a FEMA inspector issued what he described as a dire warning. Says there is a contract at the beginning when the inspector gets there before he starts inspecting. He said, in that contract, if you do not pay the money back, it is a loan. A loan. And even if it's just $1 or $750, if you don't pay it back, they have the right to seize all of your property. Alright, let me get a couple of precepts. I believe it. If it's true that that $750 is a loan, that's just more proof that the government doesn't care about its own people. Let me get this. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and the gift destroyeth the heart. Yeah, and it's obvious that the people are being oppressed, and that's why they're angry. Like it says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. The American people are starting to wake up to their government and how the government is giving them the shaft, giving them the short end of the stick, and they're not happy about it. You know? Skipping down to verse 13. Consider the work of the Most High, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked? Yeah, and who can make straight which he had made crooked? The Most High he has made Esau, the so-called white man, crooked. He's more crooked than a dog's back leg. You know, there's no righteousness. There's not a righteous bone in Esau's body. He was created to be the wicked. You know, which reminds me of this precept. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 13, verse 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. See? So the answer to those two questions are no. An Ethiopian can't change their skin, and a leopard cannot change its spots. So neither can those who are accustomed to do evil do any good. It's in the so-called white man's DNA to be what's that called? To be a evildoer. It's in his DNA. You know? The book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach in the Apocrypha, chapter 12, verse 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Yeah, just like it's inevitable for a piece of iron to rust, no matter how much WD-40 or lubricant you put on it, is bound to rust. So it's the same thing with your enemy, which is Esau, Edom. They're bound to do wicked. There's no rehabilitating an Edomite. It just can't be done. You know, the Lord created Esau to be wicked. Matter of fact, let me get that. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus again, Sirach chapter 10, verse 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. And this couldn't be more true than with who's in office right now. You got Sleepy, Creepy Joe. And you see he's tripping over himself, defecating on himself, slurring up his words, tripping when he goes up the stairs to the airplane. You know, he's an unfit ruler. I mean, he's the president of the United States, And he's 80, and he's about 81 years old, 82 years old. That's too damn old. He shouldn't be running that damn thing. He should be somewhere relaxing, which is probably what he does. But it's just more proof that America is finished. It's over with. You know? This place, I don't see this place going on any longer. You can see the signs that America is on its way out. And getting good riddance. The Israelites' captivity is almost over. But Lord's willing, you was edified. Until next time, say shalom to the elect.